Many of you are failing because you're refusing to see beyond the veil, refusing to see that those around you who created illusions and are intentionally tracking you in order to pull you off your path, even using those who are closest to you. You're failing to see that you may have unhealthy ego and pride and conceitedness issues that's causing you and allowing you to ignore divine warnings, divine messages, and go the wrong way. This is an issue because you're looking at another chosen seed or a person that is trying to warn you to wake up as being desperate or acting from a place of desperation. And even if they were, so what? Do you know what they had to sacrifice to get to you, to get the message to you, to warn you what they had to deal with? Even if it is desperation, so what? Where's your empathy and common sense? Where's your ability to discern that something major is going on here? And yet, when those devils around you, those liars, those individuals wearing a mask, trying to cover up the crimes they committed and what they participated in, come to you with a sob story out of desperation, you gravitate towards wicked and evil seeds, desperation, lies, and cover ups. And you don't consider the real chosen one who is coming to you with a sternness and a true focus to warn you, to try to get you to wake up and see what's going on around you as an act of love rather than desperation. You much rather get caught up in the illusion, the fantasy, the excitement of taking a journey and a trip with a group of narcissistic sociopaths, haters, bullies, clowns, and manipulators, master manipulators, who are on a journey to go nowhere fast. These devils are already under judgment. You may be thinking you have time to waste. You don't have to take your own choices and salvation seriously. You don't have to take these divine union, high level soul contracts presented to you seriously. You got time to waste. There's time to waste, right? You could party. You could hang out with these narcissists, these bullies and clowns, these devils that like to control other people's destined path. You could intermingle with them, get into bad relationships and bad contracts and do bad business. Yeah, you can mingle and dance in a pit of snakes. Why not? You're a snake charmer, right? You got the secret formula to charm a pit of snakes, and you got the secret key. You can handle it, right? Meanwhile, your beloved ancestors, those that preceded you, your beloved angels, those that are on high and look low, that are trying to warn you and steer you away from these pit of snakes, so you don't have to play snake charmer, trying to guide you and put you on your divine path, guide you on your divine path. You rather ignore that and say, I got time to waste. Thank you for presenting it to me. I'll leave that on hold and I'll go play with these devils over here, these dark cults and covens, sinister networks. You don't have to take your choices seriously, do you? You can just simply betray the respect and the honor that the divine is presenting you with. Instead of you looking at it as a privilege and an honor, oh my God, you mean the angels and the divine is presenting me with a high level soul contract, a divine union. You mean to tell me they're placing me within the ancient royal bloodline if I make the right choice, the right decision, if I choose wisely? You mean to tell me I'm up next at this very second, this very moment? The divine is smiling and looking down on me at this very moment. I have their attention. They see me. But nah, I'd rather go dance in a pit of snakes. I'd rather let these devils beguile and trick me, pull me off path because they're in a secret competition for my soul, for my resources, for my energy, for my blessings, and to block divine unions, to stop the person that is being presented from. These devils couldn't do half of what they do. They wouldn't be able to get away with doing whatever it is they do to block Soul Tribe from moving forward, divine planning overall from being implemented. Had it not been for those of you who are chosen, star seeds, who have obligations to wake up, to get on your righteous path, going in the wrong direction, they would not be able to get away with doing what they're doing. If those of you who know better, who made your promises and your obligations in previous lives, that in this life you will not fail, you will not make the wrong choice, you will not betray or disregard your divine mission, your divine purpose, or your divine person. You will not throw them under the bus and try to sacrifice them for a good time, for a payout, for your projects being created and finished and published and coming out, or for you to be able to overindulge at parties so where they can record you and have something to blackmail you and hold over your head, where you can end up pregnant, or where you are traveling on vacation, experiencing different cities and different states and different hotels and luxurious suites, and all of that is all it takes for you to disregard eternity of healing, abundance, access to an ancient royal bloodline, access to the higher realms of existence, access to inexhaustible creativity, abundance, and joy, and the most powerful, potent beings in all of existence initiating you and guiding you and protecting you and solidifying your name in the great books of life. You rather throw that away just to experience sweets, parties, smoke, overindulging, sex, a good time, temporary gains and successes, and then look at the person that's trying to warn you from an act of love as being desperate. You're desperate. You're reaching out to me, and you have all of that fervor and that seriousness in your voice because you're desperate. You're warning me and telling me to the T what's going to happen in emails and text messages, or, on platforms. You're telling me to the T what you can expect if you go the wrong way, and you still ignore it. You don't even give yourself an opportunity to consider truth, to back up, to look at both sides. Do I belong with these people, with these groups, with these individuals that found me, that bumped into me? Should I take this opportunity? Should I join this crew, this group? Should I take the bad advice that's coming from family members, siblings, cousins, or associates I barely know but have secret feelings and emotions and ulterior motives and agendas? Or should I at least read this email, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but several times, and truly understand where this person is coming from? Should I do some research on this person now proactively instead of wait until after I make the wrong choice and go the wrong way? Should I find out what he means when he say develop your bond with your spirit team, because they are the ones that's going to guide you? Develop your bond with the divine, the most high, your angels, whatever you subscribe to, that you receive clarity, that you gain confirmation and affirmation, that you are able to receive clear, concise confirmation beyond a shadow of a doubt. What methods do you use? Some people pray and meditate, others scry, others swing a pendulum. They learn how to use a pendulum. Others get in touch with their higher self, their higher consciousness. What method do you use as chosen, as being tapped in? Other than making nice videos saying, I'm picking up on, and I got this message, and this message came through. But when the divine is saying, hey, we need you over here, and we're going to use this chosen one, this star seed, this higher ranking earth angel to reach out to you. Don't ignore it now, because if this person reaches out to you, that means we're looking at you. You're up next. What do? Do you consider it, scoff at it, laugh at it, ignore it, delete it, erase it, run from it, get distracted from it? Because if the person say, hey, by the time I reach out to you, the others are not far behind. They're going to reach out to you too. Your world is going to change from this day forward, from this moment forward. The narcissistic sociopath, the dark cults and covens, the wicked and evil bullies and haters and clowns that want to control other people's life and steal other people's blessings and play how important they are. These bullies and devils that are dishonorable but are in honorable positions and seats with titles. These devils that can't manifest on their own, they can only steal and take, but don't belong to them. They're not far behind. If I reach out to you by way of them stalking me 24/7, looking over my shoulder, eavesdropping of who I'm communicating with, trying to reach out to and communicating with. They're going to get to you first. So please don't ignore this message. Take heed to it, take it serious, and be decisive in your action, because once they get to you, they come with binding spells, love spells. They make it difficult for you to have a moment of clarity. They make it difficult for you to be able to see beyond the veil. They're using entities to create mental fog, latch on to you, to keep you stuck in a mental place where you're not even familiar with your actions and yourself anymore. Now you're talking gibberish. Now you're uncertain and unclear. Now you need a whole bunch of coffee. And there's nothing wrong with drinking coffee. I drink coffee. You know what I'm saying? But you also don't know what I have to deal with a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm working around the clock. I don't stop. I'm like the Pac of this spiritual thing. You feel me? The way he bust out albums is the way I move and work. You got to understand, y'all don't have time to play with these dummies, because all they do, be they family members, siblings, extended family, fraternities that believe they have stake and claim to you. All these devils do is sit back and plot and plan and hate on you for no reason, instead of humbling they dumbasses and apologizing, humbling they dumbasses and making the choice to work together. No, they want to control everything and everybody. They want to feel so important. They move people, the original creators and authors, out of their positions. Then they swoop in and pretend like they came up with it. They use everybody else's resources. That's all they do. These are energy leeches, energy drainers, energy vampires. They move the original creators and authors out of the way and use what was created by these original creators and authors and pretend they came up with it. And they repeat this cycle over and over. And if you don't follow along with their gang and their dumbass group, then you're not worthy. So what? I'm not worthy. Okay, I don't want to be a part of your dumbass group. Okay, great. Go live your life. No, you can't. You can't not want to be a part of our dumbass group. I don't want to be a part of your dumbass group. But you got to take your salvation seriously, y'all. Because the reason being, y'all, is because they'll lie and say you're jealous of them and they cut you off, and that you're no longer a part of their dumbass group, when it was you who cut them off and walked away a long time ago. And unbeknown to you, you're not realizing that a whole group of idiots, devils, and supposed to be adults, honorable in honorable seats and positions, is simply moving on and living their life. No. They're holding grudges and behind the scenes working against you. People that claim they love you. People that claim they're honorable and respected. These people are behind the scenes trying to ruin and destroy your opportunities, your love life, your career, your forward movement. And you thinking to yourself, this can't even be real. Y'all can't be a joke and a bunch of clowns like that. I mean, don't y'all got everything? Y'all want what belongs to everybody else too? You want to ruin divine unions, knowing that you don't know, obviously, otherwise you probably wouldn't have did it, but then again, they probably would have. These divine unions come with severe consequences, judgment, punishment, and karma for interfering and intervening. This is the divine planning, destined path. You're going up against you're going up against the universe, the cosmos, the beloved angels and ancestors, ancient royalty. It's similar to this. Through the years, different channels put on documentaries where those greedy excavators, right, excavated and disrupted and desecrated the tombs of ancient royalty, of the gods and goddesses. They stole and took what didn't belong to them. They, robbed the graves, robbed the tombs, ignored the inscriptions that said anyone who desecrates, disturbs, or disrupts the tomb of this particular deity or god or pharaoh, etc., will meet an untimely and uncertain unaliving. And yet these idiots ignored it and did it anyway. And then only for them to expire a week to 2 weeks later, or however long it took, and then make excuses for the expiration. Oh, it was bacteria. Regardless of what it was, what they said came true, did it not? Blame it on, make excuses to make yourself feel better for whatever it is you want, because that's what people normally do, just like these idiots in this criminal network, these bullies. If karma hit them immediately, they make excuses and say, It's just happenstance. It ain't because we did that. It ain't because we ignored the signs of the divine. It ain't gonna happen again. It didn't happen again. It's just we're gonna ignore that and keep going. But I bet you these dummies don't tell the new recruits, the new flying monkeys that they recruit to stalk and harass, what they're experiencing behind the scene and what took place behind the scenes with them because of the choices they made. They never tell the new people because the new people probably, if they had a choice to decide on their own, would not join. Just like you chosen ones, if they say, hey, we know you're a chosen seed, we know you tapped in, you got gifts, but you're not completely healed and you don't see beyond the veil. So, but we're going to give you the option to join us, become a fallen angel, lose your way, get pregnant and bear a demon seed, a devil child, opposed to an earth angel. Do you want to join us? You probably would say hell no and run the other direction. We're going to trick you into a bad contract, a bad marriage. We're going to pull you away from your healthy lifestyle, your healthy way of healing and eating and, taking care of your diet or your exercise routine. We're going to pull you away from that. And we're going to get you to see overindulging is more fun and more exciting. We're going to turn everything that you know to be good and true and wholesome for yourself upside down. This is what you can expect and gain when you join this corrupt, demonic organization of bullies and clowns. You probably would say no and run in the other direction. But no, because they come to you flashy with a glamorous illusion, and because they normally do a love spell on you first, a binding on you first, you jump all in without giving it any second thought. Right? Sad, right? And then when those who are of the divine trying to warn you and wake you up and tell you what's going on, oh, you're just desperate. But when you begin to wake up, and the devils around you see that you're beginning to wake up and they see that you're coming to your senses, they come to you out of desperation. Oh, my baby need milk, or I really need this job, I really need the position, I really need your help, your resources. I truly love you. I want you to stay with me, even though we was never supposed to cross paths, even though you and I would have never met if I wasn't stalking your true person. And we got a hold of the information of who your true divine person is. You and I was never supposed to cross paths. I shouldn't be in your face or in your energy. But I got to you first and I tricked and beguiled you and pulled you off course. And then I turned you against your true person and made you look at them like they a sucker just because they might dress funny, even though they sacrificed everything out of love. Or they might not have the best of the best at this particular moment in time because they understand and, sacrificing, getting it back later, whatever the case may be, or they may be in isolation at this moment because we helped create it for them. Or we told a bunch of lies and defamed this person, tried to ruin this person's character and career. But they're still thriving and maintaining. They still understanding and accepting of the assignment, the divine assignment, and they're still fighting through to heal and to find time to stay in an alignment and in tune and still get these messages out and still find time to heal best of their ability, irregardless of the distractions and the disruptions, the stalking, the noise campaigns, the lies, interfering with careers, trying to keep them in isolation. And yeah, you just say, oh, they desperate. But when these devils lie to you and say, yo, I love you more, but we was never even supposed to meet each other if you hadn't interfered in this in the first place. I don't belong in this environment with you. You don't belong in my energy around me. I need to figure out how I'm going to strategically get the fuck away from y'all devils. This group of hedonistic, hating, jealous, envious, spiteful bullies, clowns, manipulators, liars, treacherous, atrocious acting, hating ass devils. I need to figure out what I'm going to do to get away from this pit of snakes. And even those around me, my associates, my family members, my siblings, my cousins, my so-called sisters and brothers, extended family, who helped set me up and put me in a trajectory of you lying ass demons. And not make excuses for people in my family and talk about, oh, there's good and bad in everyone. No, some people are evil to the core, wicked to the core, have ill intentions for you to the core. This goes beyond just good and bad. Some people cannot get right because they have a secret pact with the head fallen angel and the wicked and evil seeds. And they're never going to honor you and respect you the same way a narcissist is never going to get right and tell you the truth and admit the truth unless it's forced out of them. And even when they are caught in the act and busted and evidence is held before them, they still ain't going to admit their truth, most of them, most of the time. They rather lie, scream, and blame you. How did you get a hold of that evidence? What you doing going through my dresser? What you doing going through my emails on my phone? Or what you doing talking to this person? The same stuff that they do to you. If you catch them out and bust them in a lie and hold them accountable, they're not going to like it. So why do you feel you have to stay stuck with these devils? Why would you waste another day, another hour around these hating ass devils? What is wrong with you? You know better. You think better. Your mind functions differently. Why do you put yourself in a position to be a snake charmer? Why? What makes you think you have to be a snake charmer instead of getting rid of snakes? If somebody dropped you off or said, I'm going to take you to Snake Island, would you go? If somebody put you on a game show or knocked on your door with a sweepstakes and said you won a one-way trip to Snake Island, you know, the island with all the snakes, where everybody say nobody can survive or no man belongs, nobody's supposed to go, would you say, yeah, I think that's exciting. I'm adventurous. I like taking risks and chances, and I really enjoy new stuff. I really enjoy doing new things, new opportunities, and I think, I could be the first one to reinvent the wheel and do things differently. Would you really, truly accept a one-way trip to Snake Island? Let's say they gave you a round trip. You think you're going to be able to use that second ticket? Would you really say, yo, yeah, okay, I'll go with y'all dumbasses to Snake Island? And maybe, we could figure out a way. Maybe one of these devils say, yo, you know what? We got a formula. We got the ingredients to charm the whole island of snakes. You're going to just jump in and believe them the way you jumped in and believed them with all the other illusions they presented to you against your divine path? This is the seriousness. This is where we find ourselves. You can't have one foot in and one foot out, and you must be absolutely decisive in seriousness for the choices and decisions you make, the direction you go, what you choose to partake in, who you choose to surround yourself with, who you choose to call family and friends, who you choose to take advice from, who you choose to listen to, how long you choose to stay in those circumstances once you get clarity, how long it takes you not to drag your feet, to stop dragging your feet once you get clarity, once you realize you've been lied to. This is where we find ourselves. This is what it's come to. You have to take your own salvation and your ascension seriously. You have to have the discipline ahead of time, proactively, not after you go the wrong way. You have to have it before you make the choice to get caught up with these devils that are in competition with your divine purpose and ascension. You have to say, no, I decline. No, thank you. I'm not going that way. I'm not joining these dark cults and covens and being a sellout and becoming a fallen angel. And if I do make mistakes and the divine gives me another opportunity to correct it, correct my course, correct my actions, correct my thoughts and my behavior, I am definitely not going to mess it up or drag my feet or wait another second before I do an about face. I'm not going to wait before I communicate with the very person who gave me the knowledge and the foresight and the forewarnings in the first place. I'm not going to wait another day. The same way I exert the energy to give an indirect message, read between the line message, is the same energy I could take to communicate directly without any further ado or delays. And at least by doing that, the wisdom is now you can correlate. Now you can put the pieces together. Now you can receive the guidance that person already went before you, already got the keys and the blueprint, where you trying to learn it now and figure it out. Really? You're in the thick of it, and you didn't even have the ability to see beyond the veil, and you still scared to communicate? Who does that? Come on, yo.